Hello folks, so we have arrived at Rufford Abbey. We are here to have a walk around the grounds and go down to the lake and go and check out the mill. So I hope you enjoy. Right, so today we have come to Rufford Park for a little walk around. So if you fancy coming here currently, you need to pay £6 to park, and the car park is absolutely huge, as you can see. So in 1626, Rufford Estate was passed to Sir George Savile and his first wife, Lady Mary, from George Talbot. The stable block here was added in the 1660s, and originally this place housed 20 horses. So yeah, some interesting facts about Rufford Abbey, especially during the First World War. It made rough-cut wooden coffins for the dead. The estate house and contents were bought by Sir Albert Ball, a Nottingham industrialist and father of the First World War VC and air ace. He sold all the contents at auction and much of the estate in separate lots for development in 1938. During the Second World War, the abbey was taken over by the army in 1939, and the Leicestershire Yeomanry 6th Cavalry Brigade was stationed here, arriving as horse-mounted troops and leaving as motorised artillery. And the 4th Battalion of the Coldstream Guards moved in with their Churchill tanks, and 20 army huts were constructed. They left in 1944 to become part of D-Day Allied invasion of France. And the huts later housed Italian prisoners of war. Yeah, interesting facts. So yeah, we'll walk through the stable blocks now. So obviously at the time of year we've come, a lot of this is actually shut up. Right, so we're going to walk into where the stables are now. So now we're inside the stable block. This is basically the stable block, or what used to be part of the stable block here at Rufford. So you've got a gift shop. I'll pan around and you can see this is probably the more modern section. But don't quote me on that. And there's Christmas trees up, ready for Christmas. So yeah, we'll carry on walking through. Toilets here if you need them. And then you've got the coach house, restaurant. So they've got the huts up, the Christmas huts up. Different shops, obviously not open at the moment. I've got Kerry's Gifts. Look at that one with the hole in the background, that's pretty cool. A lot of them haven't got names on at the moment. RSBB building, hut. Now you can, I don't know if it's this building or not. No, it's not this section of the building, is it? It's a section over there. It's there, isn't it? You can rent accommodation here. Well, I think it's actually that building over there where you can actually rent. So if you want to actually stay on Rufford Ground, you can actually stay here. So We've got an interesting sundial here. The seeds of today are the flowers of tomorrow. It does move around. It told you about how to do all the time on a sunny day. So we're here in the rose garden, which obviously it's winter, so there's no roses to show you. It goes on to the back of the hall. So here's an interesting fact. A rose appears in an Egyptian tomb painting dated from 15 BC, and the ancient Greek poetess Sappho described the roses as queen of all flowers. Garden roses appeared in ancient Britain with the Romans and were prized as an ornament, a cosmetic and a medicine. So yeah, if you're wondering why the sort of roses here, the reason being is monasteries like Rufford would have included roses in their gardens. It was also a symbol of the Virgin Mary, to whom all sister monasteries were dedicated, and the beads of the first rosaries were made of dried rose petals, hence the name. Now, these gates at the front here are usually open, but they seem to be shut today, to gain access to inside the actual abbey grounds. So we'll walk around the other side and see if we can gain access. So the little ride here is not actually open. It's the Dobby. It was built by fairground manufacturer Halstead in 1906 for the Pullen family. The wooden horses and cockerels, known as mounts, were carved in Burton on Trent by famous fairground carver Spooners. Now in here we've got a few sculptures, which backs onto the coach house. I'll show you those. Let's head round to the Orangery. It's an interesting looking sculpture there. And there's the impressive clock. The clock on the front of the abbey. I think that is where the rentals are. You can rent a property over there if you want to come here for a few days. And head towards the gardens now, check the gardens out. So here's the entrance to the Orangery, which is shut. Oh, I like that, with the roses on the gate.
Open every day except Tuesdays.
Open every day except for the day we arrive. So yeah, it's got plants and stuff in there if you're looking at buying some plants. It's not open though, unfortunately. But I remember this building, the Orangery used to have a nice little open pool area here. I'm sure it did, but maybe I'm wrong with that one. So in here this is the gardens, informal gardens. We've got sculptures in here. So this is a sculpture. It's based on a Makaton symbol meaning good. Makaton is a modern picture language based on diagrams, symbols and gestures. It's an aid to communication for people with learning and language difficulties. The hand itself was actually designed by children. Young people and their carers who use Makaton, working with local sculptor and blacksmith Roger Lee. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Acceptance, inclusion, equality, exclusion. Good that. Okay, so now around to the front of the Orangery, and this is where the old water feature is. So the fountain here is copied from an antique lamp that was found during excavation by Lord Savile. A little walk around the open garden area. And you've got the ornaments over there. If you do come to Rufford Abbey and park, there is a really big play park for the kids. So if you've got little kiddie winks, you can bring them to the park here. Nice little area to bring them. A few slides, tunnels. And kids love tunnels. I remember I used to love tunnels when I was a kid. Got some pirate ship, swings. You may know what this is. This is a sculpture from Duke's Wood at Eakring, and it's a sculpture dedicated to the All Patch Warriors. So I've done a video on the All Patch Warriors before, so yeah, definitely worth watching that video. And you can see how they came over from America to help us during the Second World War, because we had a big secret oil reserve. So this is the Shrine of Nemi, a sculptural installation. In December 1886, 7 bales and 16 cases of ancient Roman antiques arrived at Nottingham, a gift from the excavations at Nemi, south of Rome, carried out by Sir John Savile, Her Majesty's ambassador at Rome, who became the first Baron Savile of the family estate here at Rufford Abbey. The site at Nemi was the Great Temple of Diana, and many of the terracotta, stone, bronze and pottery artefacts found there would seem to indicate she was a goddess of healing, a woman and childbirth. So the goddess Nemi is represented by a bust on a stone podium, which we'll have a look at in a second. And if you look inside it, the temple, there's a set of infinity mirrors. You'll see small replicas of votive objects that the artist has hidden inside the sculpture. The temple structure representing the shrine has been decorated with handmade ceramic pieces using motifs copied from the actual tiles found at Nemi. Oh, that's interesting.
It looks better on this side. These are a bit cobwebbed up.
These are copies, Shell, of the actual tiles that were found at Nemi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's got a face on that one. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'll put the camera right up. No, I don't think that works. So this is like a little memorial garden here. Another pretty interesting little sculpture, which says, "Take time to connect with this place and with others." And then you've got a little memorial here. Let's quickly go and have a look at it. Lots of names on here. There's the big old tree, which is now fenced to stop you from getting close to it. And then if we walk this way, it will take us down to the lake. Let's see what that says about the tree. So the tree is only thought to be around 90 years old. But this cut-leaved European beech is actually 2 trees in one. When it was a lot smaller, a beech sapling was grafted into the established roots of another tree. This was to help it grow larger and more vigorously. Unfortunately, access to the old abbey it's shut. Probably because of the time of year. They've decided to shut it. And down here you have a little, sort of like a museum thing. That's all shut as well. So the abbey was founded here in 1146 by a great landowner, Gilbert de Gant, from 1123 to 1155, and he later became the Earl of Lincoln. The abbey was a small daughter house of the great abbey at Reloufs. It followed the standard plan of Cistercian monasteries of this period and was built in a very simple Gothic style. There were 16 monks living here in 1536. They followed a very strict interpretation of the monastic rule. Much of their lives were spent in prayer. They attended services 8 times a day in the Abbey Church, which stood ahead of you. A lay brothers range on your right still remains. And here's a picture of the abbey when it was first built in the 12th century. How amazing does that look? So this is the ancient woodland here at Rufford. If you get here at the right time of year, this is full of bluebells. But did you know, historically bluebells have lots of very common names. Can you name a few of them? So answers below if you got these right. Just a few of them: cuckoo's boots, witch's thimble, and fairy flower. And there's a few other names as well, so put it in the comments if you know what historically bluebells were called. So, interesting uses of bluebells. Bluebell bulbs would be crushed to release starch, which was used to stiffen the elaborate ruffs. And in the Middle Ages, the sticky sap from bluebell flowers was used to glue feathers to arrows. So if you didn't know. Right, so we're going to walk down to the ice house now. And there's actually 2 ice houses here. There actually used to be more than 2, but there's one in the back end of the wood here, but I can't remember exactly where it is. But I'm pretty sure there's one over there somewhere, or the ruins of one, and then the main one which they want you to go and look at, which we're going to walk to now, which is the biggest one, to be fair. So we'll head through the woodland and we'll go straight over to the ice house. And then the plan is we're going to walk down to the mill, have a quick look at the mill, and then walk around the lake, and then we're done. So yeah, don't worry about all the spider and the Halloween stuff. They've clearly forgot to take it down. But this is the ice house, and it is a big old ice house. We've covered, I've been to many ice houses in the past. But yeah, obviously these were used to store food that needed refrigerating. And we've got the big spider, which is still there. Well, yeah, it's quite big, isn't it, when you look at it. Mechanical refrigeration happened around 1918, and that's when ice houses started to decline, and eventually a lot of them fell into disrepair, unless they're owned by, you know, a trust. But yeah, so now we're going to walk to the mill. So now we've come out down to the bottom of the lake, Obviously everything's shut. But interestingly, we've just come into this car park here, walk around the back, and years ago this car park used to be free. The machines are covered over and there's no one stood on the gate, so I reckon you could get in at the moment for free. Don't quote me on that though, because it might not be true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so we are at the mill, so we're going to check that out. So the abbey down at the bottom with the millers, this used to be a corn mill, which then became a sawmill. This was used around 1750. The first mill was for grinding corn. It was a 3-storey building with a large cupola or dome on the roof, and this mill was later built over in 1790, and the original wall was contained inside the present 2-storey building. They then basically built it into a sawmill, and the structure was very long. Entire tree trunks could be handled. So here is the old mill building, and she's got a tea shop, which is actually shut, and then a shop that sells flowers, and a dog deli. You can buy dog treats from here. So we're now down at the Rufford Ford. So this place obviously has been in operation for a long time, and then people started uploading content of cars and vans and trucks driving through the ford when the water was higher, and it attracted a lot of attention on YouTube. The views were getting higher and higher all around the world, not just in the UK, and people became a little bit more reckless and were driving through it a little bit faster, and in the end the local council decided enough was enough, and they put barriers up to stop vehicles going through. It's unfortunate, and I think it has had a bit of a negative impact, especially on the farming community in the area, because they now do have to take a longer diversion. Young girl there, model or something, I don't know what she's doing. Looks like she's trampolining in front of the Rufford Ford. So this is the actual mill itself, a 2-storey mill. Or what used to be the mill. Yeah. And so from the mill, we're now going to take a walk around the actual lake. You can see the mill's over there. There's the mill. And we're going to head back up to the Abbey. So here's a look at the mill from across the lake. And the cafe is officially open. Cakes, pastries, sandwiches, salads, meal pots, basket meals, jacket potatoes, everything you could think of. They are serving. I very much doubt though they're serving champagne. Didn't notice this earlier, but these are the original tackleks, which basically for horse bridles, reins, collars, bits and bobs that used to hang up when the horses were stabled. You want a seat? Take a seat in the wheelbarrow. A great idea. And there's two single ones at the other side. Alright, so that draws us to a close. Hope you've enjoyed the walk around Newstead Abbey and Country Park. We do enjoy coming here, it is local to us. I'll leave you with one final look at the stables, and then one final look at the Abbey grounds. So don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing if you're not already subscribed. Catch you later, folks. Bye.